Well, they seem to clean themselves out pretty good. This is the first official stuff that I've actually been able to get videoed here. Let me see something. See if this helps. To try these tires out, and you see right here they make a pretty cool track in the snow. We got as much ice as what we did snow, and we really didn't get much of either. But you know, it's pretty good for this early in the year. It comes and goes depending on the weather patterns and stuff. But that right there is the Goodyear Eagle Ultra Grips, and there, I'll show you again. Make sure you know that's the Eagle Ultra Grip. Naturally, they're directionals. 90% of your snow tires are going to be directional for self-cleaning and shedding water and shedding snow, which is basically self-cleaning too. So I had a flat with this one. I ran something in it and sliced it, and we were able to fix it. So I haven't put my center cap back on yet. I figured somebody would notice that, but that's what happened. So I ended up, thankfully I had the same size spare, and my car's locked. I was going to show you something. Yeah, lock it here. Not that it's relevant, but so if you look right here, here's the spare that I used. And I've actually came to a decision. I am going to sell my Firestone Winter Force studded snow tires that I have for my wife's car that's brand new. I'm going to sell those or trade them at my uncle's garage for another set of snow tires, because naturally, and everybody agrees, when you have a skinnier snow tire, they dig down better and they grip better. Instead of riding on top of stuff, they actually dig down and help you get a better bite. Well, with hers, not only were they skinnier, but they were also shorter. I went down both numbers from a 225/65 down to a 215/60. So that lowered the height of the tire, and it also changed the width of it. And while that's not an issue, as much snow as we get in the mountains, you know, like that we have to cross at times, tend to pose a serious threat, just like this morning. And back in March, we got that big snowstorm. The snow we had 19 inches. Well, even on the road, when we were trying to get home, it was up to a foot, and she was already pushing snow with her generals. And if I could get her car back to the factory height, I'm not worried about the width. It's not going to hurt anything there enough to matter. But the height actually set her car down an inch. Literally set that thing down an inch. Well, they don't have a whole lot of ground clearance anyway. I got 7.5 in my car, and I got a taller tire, so it put me up to a little over 8 inches. And then I've got, even with the weight in the back here, you can see the space I've got right here between my tire and my body of my car. And that's because I've got 2 of those coil spring blocks in the rear on each coil, and that raised the back end of my car up an inch. So overall, the height of my car, as far as ground clearance goes, you can look up underneath here and see it's got significant ground clearance for a RAV4. I mean, I've never had any issues at all with ground clearance on this car, unless I was absolutely somewhere I had no business being. So, you know, it helps to have that little extra ground clearance. And I'm telling you, if Subarus had the ground clearance of all of them, if they had like 9 inches or something, especially on little cars with the right all-wheel drive system, since Subaru's got different all-wheel drive systems, they would do extremely well, you know, better than what they do, and they really do good. So, but I haven't been anywhere yet that I have needed a Subaru. I mean, I've done everything that they show that they can do. So show you this right here. I'm going to give you a little test with these tires. All right, I am sitting with my wheel cut in the road, and it starts uphill. And I'm going to show you here, it goes uphill right there. So I'm going to pull out, all right, and not spinning yet. Let's see if I can get this around here where you can see it. And it's pulling right on. And I'll stop right here. It's actually on the hump. I mean, it's going. I just got the 4-wheel drive lock in. But I don't need it in. But I locked it in just because. But there's another hill up here I want to do a demonstration with these tires on, just to see how good it does. And I did a video on this last year showing how all 4 wheels was actually kicking in because of the way the car was parked. And it's right here. And this is the hill that I was on, me and my son was videoing. I come around here and I'll go over into this where it, you know, kind of cocked the suspension a little bit. And I stop, and you sit here and you just give it a little bit of gas and it just starts slipping. And I'm barely giving it gas. I mean, I can floor it and it ain't gonna matter because the traction control is working and doing its job. And that's exactly what the traction control's job is to do. A lot of people have that misunderstanding of traction control. You don't necessarily have to disable it every single time you're out in weather like this. It's not necessary. So I wanted to show you this and show you how, you know, steep and rounded that is. Its cameras really don't do it much justice, but you know, it's a pretty steep little hill right there. Make sure I don't back into something. And I'll show you how well they do backwards, because a lot of times if a tire is a directional tire, they don't. Oh, that's my plastic rubbing where I had busted it out last year. The snow busted my under plastic out and pushed my bumper back where it was so deep. I'll back up and show you here. I got, see right here, they're digging down and I'm actually in that ditch down in there. I've got my suspension cocked funny. And right there's what I was down in. And you see that right there, how that drops down in? Let that focus, look at that. See, that dropped down in there and had my suspension cocked and was testing the all-wheel drive system of the car. It didn't fail. So if I was to just have momentum and hit things and go and not just sit there, like people got to stop and cock the suspension. And how many times do you see somebody out here on a main road or crossing roads like this that they stop literally to put their suspension in a bind to where they can show how well the car's all-wheel drive system works? I think it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life, because I don't put myself in those positions anyway. And I have been in those positions, and momentum and knowing how to drive and having the right tires is all a combination that you need. Common sense. I mean, people just don't have common sense anymore. I don't think most people ever really did. In today's society and young people, they don't have a bit of common sense, most of them. It's hard to find that in anybody. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a little insight on how these tires perform. Are they better than the Firestone Winter Force? It's a tough one, because you've seen my videos of my Winter Force and I never got stuck with those, and I've never been stuck as of yet. I've never been pulled out as of yet. So, you know, honestly, as long as you've got a decently rated snow tire on your car, I can't see that you would ever have to go with any other high dollar expensive tire like those Nokians. I have read as many bad reports as I have good, but a lot of people praise those tires and think that they're the best that ever was. And then Bridgestone Blizzaks, I haven't seen anything that impresses me about those Blizzaks any more than the Winter Force of the Generals, for that matter. And the Generals, this is the third winter I've ran those Generals on my wife's car, and she still got half tread left. And we had this stuff here this morning, and she did fine. No issues whatsoever. So if you've got any reservations about those Generals, jump on them. Go for it. I can assure you they're worth it. The Goodyears here I've got, they're worth it. It's just a lot of money. So really, but I ended up getting these tires for $100 a piece. I ain't gonna complain. So naturally I'm saving my Firestones because they got studs in them, and I needed the studs this morning, but I still managed. These did good on the ice and the slush, and what we got out here, they did good. So, you know, this is how I get home right here. But you know, it's the mountain I cross. This is where I live, so this is where I go. And you know, I just found this very interesting that I got an opportunity real quick to show this video and to show what these tires are capable of. So, you got any questions? Holler at me, let me know. I'll answer it the best I can. And don't forget to subscribe and like if you don't mind. To give me a thumbs up on the video. I mean, I do the best I can. So I'm running out of time here. My camera lets me record 10 minutes at a time, and that's good enough. It's more than what a person needs, really. But just let me know if you got any questions or whatever. Thank you.